Time is 6:34 p.m. and the Louisville Planning and Zone Commission meeting of Tuesday, June 6, 2017 is now called to order. And the first item is approval of the minutes of the May 16th, 2017 meeting. If there's no additions or corrections, may I have a motion to approve as presented?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Alvin.
Second.
Seconded by,
Karen.
I'm doing it again. Seconded by Karen. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Karen and Mary Ellen are just too close. Okay. Motion carries as presented. Item number 3 is a public hearing for consent agenda plats. There are two, item A and item B. They'll be read together and one public hearing and voted on together unless somebody wishes to have them separated. Item 3A is the final plat of Vista Ridge Edition, Lot 7R1, Block F, Zone Light Industrial, L1. This is 3.9317 acres located on the north side of State Highway 121 between Rockbrook Drive and MacArthur Boulevard. This is a replat of Vista Ridge Edition, Lots 7R and 8R, Block F. Item B is the final plat of Feed Mill Edition, Lot 1R, Block A, zoned Old Town Center Business District, OTC, on a 0.7471 acres. This is located on the northwest corner of Main Street and Keeley Avenue, being a replat of the Feed Mill Edition, Lot 1, Block A.
Good evening, Commissioners. Both these plats do meet all the requirements of the Zoning and General Development Ordinance, and we would recommend approval.
Commissioners, questions? Okay, at this time, we'll open up the public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak, please come forward, sign in, state your name. All right, having no one come forward, the public hearing is now closed.
Is this on anything that we got a letter on?
It's for the Vista Ridge Edition.
Oh, no.
No? Okay. That's item 3A and B. Okay, Commissioners? Okay, may I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Kristen,
Second.
seconded by Mary Ellen. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item 4, public hearing for zoning. Item 4A is consideration of a zone change request from Office District OD to Old Town Mixed Use 2, OTMU2, on approximately 0.55 acres. This is land out of the J.W. King Survey, abstract number 696, located on the west side of North Hatcher Avenue. It's approximately 200 feet north of West Main, as requested by Macarol Corona Patino and Maria Consuelo Lopez Sanchez, the property owners. This is case number PZ 2017-0611. Jonathan?
Good evening, Commissioners. This property was originally zoned residential, but was rezoned to Office District in 1985 with the hopes of using the land for commercial use. The property was never commercially developed. The house was eventually demolished and the property has been vacant since. The applicant wishes to rezone the property to Old Town Mixed Use 2 in order to build a new home. The zoning is compliant with the Old Town Master Plan. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners? Okay, thank you, Jonathan. This time we'll open up a public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak, please come forward, sign in, and state your name. All right, having no one come forward, the public hearing is now closed. Commissioners, comments? If not, may I have a motion on?
Just had a quick question. So this, if they build a single-family home here, that's going to go through the Old Town Design Review Board? Is that correct? Okay.
Okay. Now may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by William,
I'll second.
seconded by Kristen. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, this item will be considered by the City Council at a second public hearing for a final decision on Monday, June the 19th, 2017 at 7:00 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, item B is consideration of a zone change request from General Business District GB to Old Town Center Business District, OTC. This is on approximately 0.068 acres. It's legally described as portion of Lot 7, Block 6 of the original town of Louisville, located on the north side of West Main Street, approximately 215 feet west of North Mill Street at 135 West Main, as requested by Amanda Ferguson Owens, Denton Creek Partners Management LLC, the property owner. This is case number PZ 2017-0612. Jonathan?
Commissioners, this commercial property is located in the heart of Louisville's Old Town, along Main Street. The Old Town Center zoning allows for commercial and mixed uses. It requires the facades of the buildings to be set at the property line. This zone change is compliant with the Old Town Master Plan. Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Commissioners? Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, at this time, we'll open up a public hearing for item B. Anyone wishing to speak, please come forward, sign in, and state your name. All right, having no one come forward, the public hearing is now closed. Commissioners, comments? If not, may I have a motion on item B? Old
Move
Town
to
Center.
approve.
Mary Ellen, move to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Karen. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, this item will be considered by the City Council at a second public hearing for a final decision on Monday, June the 19th, 2017 at 7:00 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item C, consideration of a zone change request from Townhouse District, TH, to Plan Development Townhouse 2 District, which is PD-TH2, on approximately 9.059 acres. It's out of the E. Pickett Survey, abstract number 1014, located on the northwest corner of Bel Air Boulevard and Oakwood Lane, and is requested by Scott Johns, ARK Design Concepts, on behalf of Hader Rizvi, HRDC LLC, the property owner. This is case number PZ 2017-0613. Mary?
Good evening, Commissioners. The property before you is for planned development. Property is currently zoned townhouse. They are looking to rezone it to planned development townhouse 2. It's approximately 9 acres. What they're proposing is a combination of a 2- and 3-story townhouse product on this property with approximately 104 units. It would be constructed in 2 phases. The property is located on the north side of Bel Air, just west of Oakwood Lane. So the portion closest to Bel Air would be the first section built. The second section would be the northern part. This will be a self-contained development. It will be gated. There will be no connection to the existing neighborhoods to the east. This site is an oddly shaped piece of property. It does have some constrictions. There is a 60-foot Atmos gas easement on the eastern section of the site, and on the western side we do have a floodplain and a city park area. So this will be constructed, as I said, in 2 phases. The square footage of the homes will be a minimum of 1,500 square feet. It will be a brick veneer product, as you can see in the elevations provided within the packet. They will be providing 2-car garages and on-street, and 2 concrete spaces on site. There will be an HOA. There's 1 community building located to the south of the site. There will be a screening wall along Bel Air and Oakwood Lane streets. Additional screening or fencing of the site will be in the form of retaining walls and tubular steel fencing. The landscaping and open space amenities for the site are shown within the in the packet you have received. There will be items such as planter boxes, trails, pergolas, grilling area, fountains, wooden benches, a pet park, kids' play area, and exercise area. These will be maintained by the HOA. There are three variances associated with this development. One is to make this a front entry product. Typically, development in Louisville requires an alley. With this limited configuration, they are providing for a front entry product with rollover curbs. Second is to provide a gated community with private streets, which also requires a variance, and an alternative street section layout. The purpose of the planned unit development is to accommodate innovative design, concepts, and flexibility. This complies with the new neighborhood big moves of the Louisville 2025 plan. Staff does recommend approval of this zone change request from Townhouse to PD Townhouse 2. Do you have any questions?
Just a quick question. What is the big difference between the townhouse zoning versus the PD? Is it just the variances that are the difference?
The PD allows you to have a little bit more flexibility. So from the townhouse to the townhouse 2, there is some lot dimensioning differences as well as housing size differences. However, they are providing a larger house size. It's more a function of the lot sizes and the setbacks in this case.
Okay.
Mary, are they planning to retain any of the trees in this area? I know that they're planning on planting new ones as part of their landscaping plan. Are they going to be able to retain any of these trees?
I believe with this type of construction, and basically most residential construction, I believe most of the trees are going away.
Okay.
And will be, the pad sites for the houses as well as the streets. We haven't gotten to the level of detail in terms of a tree survey with this project, so that will happen with a preliminary plat.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Mary. This time we'll open up the public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak on the item 4C, please come forward, state your name, and sign in. And for today, there's a 3-minute time on speaking because of the number of people.
Good evening, council members. Excuse me, my name is Patsy Nash. My husband and I have lived on Pebblebrook since '67. My concerns, or his concerns, is the traffic coming from these townhomes. Pebblebrook is a very busy street. People exit down Pebblebrook to go out on Fox. They exit to go out on Bell Avenue. We have a lot of traffic. We've asked for speed bumps, and will not do that for us. So we have that's one of the problems. We're talking about cut-through streets. I don't know where exactly they're going to cut through, but if you go down Pebblebrook, Brook Cove to the right, Brook Cove to the left is a dead end. So if y'all cut through there, people are not going to exit out one way. They're going to come down our street, probably go down Oakwood and down South Shore. So, and then the other question I have is also, you said this is going to be a 3-story townhome. Are these going to be for low-income people?
I would refer that to Mary.
We can defer that to the applicant.
To the applicant.
Is it going to be low-income people? Because then you're going to get all kinds.
At the end of the public hearing, the applicant will step to the podium and we'll address that question.
Okay.
But like I said, a lot of concern is the fact of the traffic, because we have traffic now that's in abundance coming down our street to get off of Fox to go to Bel Air. It's a short, quick turn. And so with these townhomes and all these people moving in, people are going to be going every which way. So that's a real concern. And so we're a little upset about all this.
You signed in, right?
I will.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, public hearing is still open, so come on. Yeah.
Good evening, my name is Alicia Powell, and I guess my question is, I want to know the approximate cost of these townhomes for the people moving in. I've lived on Foxwood Place approximately 11 years, so I guess it says 200 feet. I don't know how it really is 200 feet, because looking at the map, I don't know how my house is affected by it, except for maybe my view, which I don't really want to look at a 3-story townhome. I would prefer if it stayed within 2 stories, since I live in a 2-story house, and I don't really want people looking in my backyard. I kind of already have that problem because I live at the bottom of a hill. I mean, I would like something done with that area, since there have been squatters and things like that, and people dumping trash and driving along. But I guess my question is, like, how much are they gonna cost? Are they going to be low income, like she said? Because our property values are starting to go up, and I would like to continue to see them to go up instead of decline like they have in the past before, when I lived there before. I guess we bought it in 2009 at the top of their, or 2005 at the top of the market, and then they dipped way down, and then now they're finally starting to rise again. And my family and I would like to continue living there and not have to move to Flower Mound or somewhere else where property values are continuing to rise. So I guess that's my concern, is that property values staying on the up and up in Louisville, and because we already have a large low-income population around that area of Fox and Edmonds and Bel Air, and I don't think we need any more.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Powell.
Thank
And they'll address those after the hearing is closed.
Thanks.
The price point of the price of the, anticipated price of the homes. Okay,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
Of course, like she said, we've lived on our street since 1967. But would like to find out, where will the cut streets be? I mean, is there going to be a exit from down at the corner of Pebble Brook and Oakwood? There's a gray 2-story house. Is there going to be an exit there to come out? Is there going to be where are all the through streets? Where are they going to be at?
Okay, they'll address the traffic flow.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
I can answer that question right now. That will be a self-contained community, so there will only be one entrance into the community with one exit,
Okay, thank you.
and one emergency exit, sorry.
My name is Jose Osorio. I live on Pebble Brook Street. I have a question. Is it gonna be a street in between our property and these new buildings?
Mary?
As indicated before, there will only be an entrance off of Bel Air and a secondary exit off of Oakwood Lane. There will be no other streets in or out of the property.
The reason why I bought this house, because I like the view behind my house, watching those streets. If they're gonna build something, big storage, so I'll be looking at those buildings. There'll be no more view. So what they gonna do?
Okay, thank you. And there'll be presentation by the builder, so. Thank you. Okay. At this time, the public hearing is now closed. Like we said, we'll try to address some of those since the public hearing is closed. Do we do it now, right?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Taha Rizvi. I'm one of the property owners. My name is Nasir, and I'm the developer for this project.
I think what I got out of the folks that spoke was concern about the three-story building
Yes.
and where that faces, and also traffic, which I think we tried to address a little bit, and also the price point or what age group or what group, the pricing of the
So
homes.
I'll start with
Sure.
your last question. The
Okay.
pricing is gonna be based on, the pricing that is already in City of Louisville, which is gonna be, around that $300,000 and up, for the houses. So these won't be low-income properties. Sir, I know you mentioned, you didn't wanna mess up the view of your property, because I know you guys live on Pebblebrook. We actually have a 60-foot gas easement, and those trees we aren't touching. So from your houses, there will be a big, green belt in between our development and Pebblebrook.
So it's gonna be street and then the trees, or what's gonna be?
So,
If you have,
Richard, is there some possible way I can pull it up on here?
We were unable to get it to work tonight.
Oh, okay. Scott, can you,
Another trying. There's a setback for 60 feet between this, your property and the starting of the other property. Not sure you hear.
On the eastern side of the subdivision, there's a 60-foot Atlas gas easement that cannot be constructed upon. And so that will be, at a minimum, a green area. I'm not sure if there's trees existing in there currently.
there are.
Okay,
And we won't be touching that 60-foot gas main, so it's gonna create a green belt between our project and the neighboring community, so it shouldn't be affected, other people's views. The other question that was asked is we're doing 3-story townhomes. Our height restriction in our current zoning is 35 feet. We haven't changed any of our height zoning. So
How close is this to the drainage ditch?
we are approaching it, but our property line, our property isn't on it.
Well,
We're on the border, but we're not touching it.
like where the walking trail, I don't know how this works.
So the walking trail is on the other side of the
Well,
ditch.
I live on the walking trail side.
Okay, so you're further
Like
away
it's
from.
directly behind my house. So
Yeah, so if you,
I'm like, I don't know. Like my house is right here.
yeah,
So it's pretty far.
so all of this is gonna be either there's green belt here
Right.
and as well as, we're even further out. Yeah, and then
We want to develop here.
no, we're not.
Right, that's why I'm like, right, so I don't, that's why I'm like.
Couldn't get the conclusion.
I can see. But this is the night out my window.
And like I mentioned, we're not exceeding the height that is already placed, there. And if I need to show this, yeah, any of you guys are more than welcome to.
Since we can't get the field.
Okay. So the question that they were asking was, the people that live on Photograph, which is about right here, they don't want to look into a town community. There's a 60-foot aspen easement, also fairly heavily treed, so we're not going to be touching those trees because we can't touch them, we can't, construct on top of trees. So we're going to keep those trees as they are. They are fairly large trees, so we're not going to be touching them. All the tree mitigation that we'll have to do, we're going to do just like the kind of construction.
And the homes that back up to that, is there like a backyard or belonging to the particular house?
Yes.
Okay, so you add that on.
Yeah,
before you get to
yes. So we've met we exceeded majority of the maximum. I mean, this is majority of the townhome sites that have been approved in City of Louisville, they're a rectangular lot, and we just have a lot of, it's an odd geometry of the site, and then we also have, we have the creek side and then also the easement. So
Okay.
it just made it.
Mike, if you'll share it with those ladies too. Thank you.
I was catching up, because I'm looking at,
Yes, so. So the questions that were addressed were that people that live on Pebblebrook, they don't want, to look at townhomes. But we actually have a 60-foot gas movement over here that we're not going to be touching because it already is heavily treed, so it shouldn't affect their view. And we also have a backyard in between us as well. The other man that mentioned that she wanted to look into her house, she's actually up in.
yeah, she's in this curve.
Yeah, so we're much further out than where she would see us.
And also there's like a creek in between, so there is a pretty good border.
Question that I have is, will your properties be fenced, or will they be open?
If we could talk into the mics, Taha, if you can come back here, that way everyone can hear the questions being asked.
My question was about fencing on those properties.
Right, so there will be brick fences, thoroughfare walls along Bel Air and Oakwood Lane. And then the remainder of the site will have tubular steel fencing around the perimeter, some with retaining walls. And I believe the actual lots themselves will have wood fences. Unless you're adjacent to an open space lot, it'll have a tubular steel fence.
Thank you.
And did, we addressed the traffic, didn't we? Suitable address traffic. Again?
Yes. Sorry,
Okay, I think that was it.
that's it?
Mhm.
If any of y'all have questions after this public hearing is over, my team can stand aside and if you have anything that you want to address or you want to get any information of, we can more than welcome to help you out. We also have a couple of copies of our PD, so we can give that over to you guys as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, comments, anything before, Kristen?
I would just wanted to make a quick comment. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody for coming out and expressing your view on these projects. I think that's really important. So the three, just to kind of do a little inventory in my mind, sounds like we had three main issues, one being traffic. Sounds like there's not gonna be any traffic that's being diverted into the surrounding neighborhoods, as it's gonna be the main entrance on Bel Air. Price point being 300. I'm not sure what the price value of the surrounding neighborhoods are, but I do know that 300 is higher than our average home value in Louisville, so I hope that that satisfies those concerns. And then I know the line of sight issue, I couldn't quite hear what you were saying about what the townhome zoning height restriction is, 35, and you're under that, is what you're saying?
We're keeping the townhome, the height what we're currently zoned, we're still keeping that.
Okay, so then the height that you're proposing is what you would be able to do outright under what the property is currently zoned as. So, I guess that would be kind of a moot point. So, you know, with that, I hope that we've resolved some of the concerns expressed tonight, and,
Just want to make a clarification.
okay,
In the documents, you know, with the TH2, you can go 35. What they're proposing is a maximum of 40, so there's a slight variation. I just want to make that clear.
okay.
Okay. Given that, may I have a motion on item 4C?
Motion to approve?
Motion approved by William,
Second.
seconded by Alvin. Those in favor signify aye. Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, this item will be considered by the City Council at a second public hearing for a final decision on Monday, July the 3rd, 2017, at 7:00 p.m.
Thank you, sir. All right, item D is consideration of the zone change request from Local Commercial District LC to Plan Development R-5, Single Family Residential District, and PD5R for residential development consisting of 46 single-family detached units and one open space lot. This is on approximately 8.325 acres. It's out of the Henry Turner Survey, Abstract 1249, located on the east and west sides of Vista Drive, approximately 318 feet north of West Round Ground Road, Farm to Market 3040, and it's requested by Ken Hodge of KDH Partners Limited, the property owner. This is case number PZ 2017-0614.
Commissioners, the proposed plan development features 46 single-family detached lots with a base residential zoning of R5. The development deviates from the base zoning with smaller front and side yard setbacks and larger lot and dwelling sizes. The proposed houses will all be front entry. They will feature neutral natural earth tones and textures. The entirety of the front elevation and 80% of the other elevations will be composed of brick or stone. 6-foot masonry fences will be built adjacent to the commercial properties located on the east, south, and west end of the development. The development will also feature a minimum of 1 tree per lot. Additional trees will be planted in the open space lot. Open spaces will be maintained by a homeowners association. 1 variance is associated with the development and will be considered by City Council to waive the alley requirements and allow front entry. Staff recommends approval. Are there any questions?
Commissioners? So the ordinance says 2 trees? The normal ordinance per lot? No?
I'd have to verify. It's based on the
Yeah.
size of the
Okay.
lot.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
This time we'll open up a public hearing. Anyone that wishes to speak, please come forward, sign in, and state your name.
Good evening. My name's James Collier, and I live on the north side of the alley, which is delineating the line from the new proposed development. And I hope that y'all will approve this request for a change. Right now, it's an open field, lots of pollen, as you can hear. And we're looking forward to having some nice family homes behind us that are going to raise all of our property values. I've discussed this with 3 realtors, what effect it will have on our homes. And there are no negatives that I can find. And I've spoken with Mr. Hodge several times. He sent letters, personal letters to all of us long prior to the official announcement. And he's addressed every issue that I could come up with.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Collier. Appreciate that.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening.
Evening.
I live on Cassion, which is kind of on the west side, kind of behind the Quick Trip, and I don't mind the fields themselves, and I like having the idea of homes there better than townhomes or apartments. My main concern is the traffic. Vista is kind of the main road that runs through that neighborhood, and crossing Round Grove, so I try to make a left. It's a 3-lane road. It's already kind of difficult, especially depending on the time of day. And if there's 46 more homes, and we could just possibly say each home has 2 cars, adding to that traffic buildup right there at the stoplight or the stop sign. I didn't know if there was maybe any future plans to possibly put a light to make it easier, because it can be a hassle trying to make a left turn or having to make a right on Round Grove and U-turn somewhere. That's really my main concern, is just kind of the traffic flow and more traffic coming down Vista, because people already kind of haul down that road. So,
I didn't catch your name though, sir.
I'm Scott Warren, I'm sorry.
Oh, Scott, okay, thank you, Scott. And Mary, don't they do traffic study surveys for new developments?
I can address that. Since FM 3040 is a state highway, there are state guidelines that have to be met as far as traffic volume. There's also an issue of spacing between signals, and the fact that there is an existing signal in Ace Lane makes it highly unlikely that there would be a signal at this intersection. usually traffic that is unable to go east on 3040 can turn right and make the U-turn at Ace Lane at the signal.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Angela Smith, and I am really kind of on the fence about this proposal of the zone change. I live on Cassian, and I have the field facing south on me. So my concern is a number of houses that are being placed in, how they're placed in, the stories of housing, and a lot basically on the alleyway walkway behind the houses that the alley's on. We already have I think the alley is about maybe 5 feet or so or something like that. It's a small alley going through. So it's only a one-car alley. So the question is, what other particulars that are gonna happen with the additional 46 units that are gonna be placed in? And the lot size, I'm having a hard time really even picturing 46 additional single-family detached homes put into those particular lots, so, right, and in between commercial property. So I think there's a little bit more information that's probably needed on a thing. I understand that, I'm not even sure on the price points on the houses that are going in and the benefits to having the property value go up, which is actually pretty much increasing as it is now. But at the same time, with increased congestion, also with the traffic and other things that are in with the neighborhood, I'm just kind of curious to what additional information that hasn't been explained or given out on the thing. I receive information as far as we're a nice builder, this is what we do, but the particulars are in the neighborhood as far as the value of the property, the livability on the property, and how many people are going to be living in that small particular area.
Okay, thank you, Angela. I think we can get an answer on some of that.
Well, this is a front entry product, right? So the concern about the alley, these homes will not be using that alley. Is that correct?
Yeah, but how close are they gonna be to the alley? We're already, with the open field gives us the ability to back up and, expand ourselves when we're coming out beyond that alley. So how close are those homes gonna be toward the alley that's gonna allow me to back my car up? If the open fields weren't there, I would have a difficulty getting out of my drive into the alley on the cutway because the Tom Thumb is listed behind there just maybe about 50 feet down from where I'm at. And so it's a single lane. There's there's two cars coming in either direction, one car has to drive or turn in someone else's driveway in order to let the car through. Whereas that possibility on part of that, in the other part of the field that's open, you don't have that option is not there. You can move over, side over, whatever. So somewhere in the alley lanes, there's poles that are there that makes it difficult for cars to move about and how they're gonna be passing through the alley. And how close are those homes gonna be home? The homes that are planned currently there are planned for a level of privacy for the neighbors that they have. They're not joined, they're not, the backyards are not connected in any sense where you don't have your neighbor's backyard connected to your next backyard. So there's a level of privacy that's obtained there. So again, those particulars are what I'm looking for when you're putting 46 additional, lots into that small area right there. And from my home to the Quick Trip to the new construction, there's new building construction that's going on there. So it's it's a nice size lot, but 46 additional homes. At what lot size? Are they 2 stories or 3 stories? Those are the questions that really I'm looking for some particulars on.
Is the applicant here to answer some of these questions?
Yes, the applicant is here. I believe we'll do like the last case where we'll go through all the questions and then we'll have the applicant come and
Okay.
answer the questions. But just talking about the alley, as in most subdivisions within the city of Louisville, alleys. You know, I believe that particular alley will have, I think there's a 3-foot right-of-way dedication, but it's pretty much a standard alley with 18 feet.
Oh, I understand that's the case, and that's fine. How close are the homes coming to that alley that are gonna be backing up their backyards into that alley? It's front, they're gonna have front, so they're not gonna share the alley. I'm not really concerned on that point. I'm concerned about how much room I'm gonna have and the cars and my neighbors are going through that alley. What kind of traffic flow that's gonna come that we normally enjoy now, you know? And again, that's a part of one of the reasons why our property values are increasing, that we have that space, that freedom there. So I wanna know particulars of what you're putting in, additional 46 units in that particular spot. I mean, I can literally walk across the field. So I'm having a hard time imagining 46 more additional homes in that field. That's a lot.
So, Mary-
15,
But isn't
10,
isn't that, the homeowner, when they build, is gonna be on the property line from the alley? That should divide that, right?
I believe the
The alley's in right-of-way. What's the city's
alley's
right-of-way?
a right-of-way.
Yeah.
So there'll be houses on both sides of, is it Vista Drive? So it'll be both fields on both sides of Vista Drive. So there'll be approximately, 20 some odd houses on each side of Vista Drive. There's a layout we can show you.
yeah, I need numbers. Sorry. I work off numbers.
All right, thank you, Angela. We have the applicant here who's going to discuss some of that. So, anyone else before I close the public hearing?
Right, it's city right-of-way. City right-of-way, yeah.
Greetings, council. God bless you all. I'm the under shepherd of the church that's adjacent to the property that's going to be built. My name is Will Langstaff. I don't know, I hope I'm not out of order here, but I have a question concerning the fence. They said they're going to put up a 6-foot wall of some type that would blend in, it would take away from the value. And I have a daycare operation that's close by, so I want to protect the children so the parents can feel comfort and credit. I do appreciate Ken Hodges. He's a good man. Worked with him before. But when we was here last time, it was said that that wall would be put up, and I don't see this in this document.
Okay, Mr. Langstead. We'll try to address that after the public hearing.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll close it up. Oh, one more.
We can close, I'm with the applicant.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll close the public hearing at this time. Please come forward and.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Steve Holmeyer. I'm with Holmeyer Engineering. We're the civil engineer on this particular project. There's been a lot of good discussion on this project this evening, and I'd like to try to answer some of the questions that I was able to jot down, and if there were some that I may have missed, I'll be happy to try to answer those as well. One of the questions was access to the alley, and as Mary has indicated, these are front entry units. We will not have a access driveway onto those, to the existing alley that's there. There will be a 6-foot fence constructed as the homes are constructed along the alley. So immediately during the construction of the project, there will be a 6-foot masonry wall constructed along the Tom Thumb property line, then along the south property line between us and the Quick Trip, all the way down to Vista Drive. And then on the east side of Vista Drive, behind that existing carpeting store, all the way down to the church on the far east end, and then it'll run along the eastern property line back up to the alley. So basically you will have a masonry wall on 3 sides, the south side, east side, and the west side. One of the questions was also on price points. We're looking at $275,000 to $300,000 per unit in this particular application. So as the previous project that was up here, this particular product will be significantly higher than some of the adjoining properties. So the reduction in property value should not be a concern. In this particular case, we're looking at 2-story units. With a 20-foot back set line, a back rear yard setback. As Mary indicated, the existing alley that was out there had a 15-foot right-of-way, which is going to be what's similar to the area behind the Tom Thumb. There was a 3-foot dedication to make it consistent with the city's current requirements, so now there's an 18-foot right-of-way, and I believe it's a 12-foot paved alley that runs down through the middle. So there is a little bit more room that will be available for the cars that will be backing out of the driveways. The minimum lot size in this particular subdivision will be 5,350 square feet. R5 zoning allows 5,000, so we're 350 feet larger than the minimum that's allowed. As Mary indicated, there are 46 homes that we're proposing in this particular development, approximately 23 lots on each side. I believe it's 20, I'll take that back. There's 1 lot short on the east side due to the detention pond. So we've got, I'm do the math in my head here, it's about 24 and then 22, I believe, if I remember correctly. So that's how the lots are broken out. And then, like I said, we've already talked about the masonry wall. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that the commissioners have or any questions that the citizens may have as well.
So in addition to this masonry fence, along the north side of the property, there is going to be that wooden fence as well, right?
There will be a wooden fence that will be installed at the time that the home is constructed, yes.
Okay. And then just so I'm understanding correctly, there was an existing 15-foot alley that the easement right now for, or the right-of-way for the alley as it exists is 15 feet, and you guys have dedicated an additional 3 feet, correct?
We dedicated an additional 3 feet, not by this project, but Mr. Hodge owns the property, and we came before the city several years ago to do a office product. And in that particular time, we dedicated a 3-foot right-of-way. So yes, a 3-foot right-of-way was dedicated, but not specifically by this residential product.
Okay, so then 3 feet along the entire distance of this project, that amount of property has already been given over to give the alley more space.
That is correct.
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Are they all 2-story? Everyone will be 2-story?
Yes, ma'am. For this particular price point, in order to get the square footage and so forth, most of the homes will be two-story.
And I'm sorry, just one more clarification. So the fence line is going to be on the property line? Is that correct?
The fences will be constructed on the property line, yes.
Okay. And then the homes will be 20 feet
To
set
the-
back further from that?
20 feet to the south
Right.
towards 3040 from the existing
Okay.
homes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Holmeyer.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, Commissioners, other comments? If not, may I have a motion on item?
I just wanted to make a quick comment about, there have been some good issues that are concerns that have been raised. I think it's important to note that this property is currently zoned as, is it local commercial? So I believe with regard to traffic, this is going to have far less impact than if it was actually developed as a local commercial site, which it currently is. So I think that as far as, you know, just recognizing that this property is not going to stay vacant, this is someone's property, they are going to want to develop it. This is really the best case scenario with regard to traffic, the least impact to traffic. So I'm hoping that that's, you know, everybody sees that as a win on the traffic side.
Excuse me, on the traffic side, there's one way in and one way out on this particular point, so that means that they're only gonna come in and out on Vista, am I correct?
Correct.
And Vista and Round Road is currently a traffic headache as is.
I guess my point is that local commercial, if this was developed as local commercial, which is what it is currently zoned, is that the volume of traffic from that, and it still would be all through Vista, would be more than what this is.
Would be, if it's for commercial traffic, right now, what's being built on traffic is small individual businesses that I don't think, in comparison to 46 additional vehicles, and if they're two-car vehicles, 46, two-car homes with two-car vehicles are not gonna be anywhere to the impact that you're gonna have for the current place that's there now. I mean, the current one, the thing that is building now is the Floors and Moors.
I would hope to see residential there instead of car washes or storage units. And that's a possibility if we don't develop it as residential. So, yeah. Okay, so the public hearing's over, so I think at this time we will vote. May I have a motion on item D?
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Karen,
Second.
seconded by Kristen. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, this item will be considered by the City Council at a second public hearing for a final decision on Monday, July the 3rd, 2017, at 7 o'clock p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item 5 is adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn by Mary Ellen, seconded by Alvin. Those in favor signify aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.